A lot of people want to be successful, but they want to go to the club on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, and then on Monday, they're getting outperformed by everybody in the fucking office, and they're wondering, why don't I get the raise and the promotion? Shut your fucking ass up. That's why, man. Get to work, you know, and that's something that I do. I don't give a fuck about the social media, about even hanging out, man. If it's not productive to what I'm doing, I'd rather just get some rest time and go to sleep than go to a bar and have a beer with somebody and just, it's not my cup of tea, you know?
Life is a fight. You know, as cliche as it might sound, we're all fighting. You're fighting to get this position, to keep this position, because there's some young journalist who's watching. He's like, I could do a better job than that guy. And they're trying to get your job, so you gotta reinvent yourself at some point. You gotta not stay stagnant. And I grew stagnant, you know? Did I have the talent, the ability, and the will? Yeah, but the mindset just wasn't where it needed to be at, you know? And my mind, body, and soul is pointing in the right direction where I need to go. I'm not there yet. I still got a lot of things to do before I close this chapter in my life. So I'm pointed in that right direction to get all those things done.
What do you attribute your longevity to and your enthusiasm to? Because you've always been a guy who loves fighting, and you've always been a guy who, I mean, you've had that enthusiasm for a long time, man.
You know, not a lot of things can capture my attention. You know, like I can't just watch TV, for example, you know, like a football game and sit through the whole thing. You know, not trying to diss football or anything. I just don't have that attention span, or basketball or baseball. Fighting can just, like, I'm talking to you and the fight goes on, and I just, like, almost get zoned out, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's always had my attention since a kid. Since before I knew that I could make money off of it, it just attracted me, you know? Mm-hmm. It's that primal instinct, survival, whatever it is, it's just hardwired deep into me, you know? And my longevity, one thing I definitely attribute to is not taking steroids, man. You know, just being natural, enjoying this ride, the natural form, you know? Yeah. Not like pushing my body towards limits that I'm bench pressing 400 pounds but my ligaments are weak, things like that, you know? And I also think God made me for this, you know? Always, man. It was, if I had a bad day, if I didn't get to eat for whatever reason, if anything happened, if I go to the gym, that was my safe zone. So I've always looked at the gym as like my temple, you know? Like my place of peace, as crazy and as weird as that sounds. Well, I grew up in different houses, many apartments, houses, everywhere, man. I've lived in many places.
Well, why'd you move around so much?
Good question. I don't know, but we moved around a lot, you know.
Was it ever in like some tough places where?
Yeah, I've been in some good places. I've been in some rougher places. Man, I slept in my car for like 4 or 5 months before I got a couple pro fights. Slept in the car in the parking lot, slept at gyms for a long time, under the ring for like a good 2 months, and then bouncing from couch to couch, and I was able to afford a car because I want to fight. I got another place to sleep, and I got AC, I'm set, you know? That's the type of individual I am. I didn't let nothing stop me since a young age. I didn't care if I had a house or if I had the right gear or not. I just make it to the gym because it was my safe zone. It didn't matter where I slept. It didn't matter what I was doing. If I could just get to the gym and space off those 3-4 hours, I was like a kid all over again, you know? And I've done that throughout my whole life, and it happens to pay off now, you know? There's a couple of those split decision losses, those losses where I go, wow. And this hurts, man. I put in so much into this, my whole life into this camp, into this actual fight, and then you hear something like 30, one judge 27 for him, then the other judge is 30, 27 for me, and then the other judge is 29, 28 for him. Yeah. So it leaves you like lopsided. Then you go online and you go, man, Ariel said I won the fight. So-and-so said I won the fight. The whole press online says I win the fight, and it puts you in those weird things, you know, and you could go many different routes. The world is against me, or I had an affair with somebody's daughter that's a judge and now they freaking hate me. You could do all these things. And you gotta kind of be a little cheesy and be like, man, I gotta find the most positive way and the least resistance to my success, you know, and that was just end these guys. I just gotta finish them. I'm gonna get better. I kept telling myself, I know I could do this. I'm gonna get better. It's just a matter of time before everything falls into place. You know, still everything hasn't fallen into place yet, but it will soon. Shut down a lot of negative programming, a lot of things in my life, and just my outlook on certain things, you know, that had to change. And with that's come the success that I got now in a lot of ways, you know. Also, Like you said, I've been doing this for 16 years, so I got a lot of tools people don't know of. I've been sharpening tools a lifetime, you know. I got more than 16 years in this sport, just 16 years pro. I've been doing it amateur for some time too. So it's just literally a lifelong journey for me, you know. And I'm the king of the split decisions in the UFC. Besides having the fastest record in the world, I got the most split decision losses. And I was there laying there one night and just reversing, like, cause I don't have the best of memories for like names and faces, but for like fights and certain situations, training camps, things like that, my mind can work like a HD 4K DVR. I could see things in slow motion. I could go back to that fight. What was I doing for that training camp? So I started seeing all the positive things that I had done in training camps, what results those got me. And things that weren't as positive or got those results, whether they were good or bad, or I thought were tough and demanding, but they didn't give the results, I started getting those things down. And then I also started thinking about those decisions, like, man, if I had won that decision, where would I be in my career, right? And then I stopped myself and I go, that's the problem right there. I've been thinking like a peasant this whole time. How about if I ended those dudes, if I baptized them, send them off to the shadow realm, what would happen then? And that's all that's been on my mind since I came back. And I think actions speak louder than words. So that's all I've been doing since I've come back. Decisions that I know for a fact. It took me a while to understand it. We're not friends. I know we're water and oil, we don't mix. But me hurting people and sending them to another realm, that's a good combination, you know? It works. Ends up being that I go for the show 13 weeks and there's no phone, no radio, no TV. I've said it numerous times, but this is kind of how I got to find out exactly what I had to do. It sounds as corny as it may be, but being out from away from everybody just by myself, I got to find me. I got to just listen to my voice, not a million different opinions or some stupid song on the radio or anything. I just got to hear my own voice and what I want done in my life before I close a chapter on fighting. And these are some of the things that I want done in my life. I'm still nowhere near where I have to get at, but I'm pointing in the right direction. My mind, body, and spirit is pointed towards the right direction for a long time in my life and my career. So these last 4 years that I got, it's gonna be a roller coaster for everybody watching. I'm gonna snatch everybody's soul. Every time I fight, I love people going, when I fight, you know that I just took their breath away. I love that feeling. So these last 4 years are gonna be, they're gonna be something wild, man. That's the biggest difference, because I've been hearing those comparisons, because I'm in no way, shape, or form Jesus. Been hearing they calling me street Jesus. There is a real Jesus, and when he baptizes you, you go to heaven. Street Jesus, if you get baptized by me, you know where you go, right? Shadow realm, baby, you know? So I just want to make that abundantly clear, man. I want to separate myself from everybody that's ever competed in this octagon. These last years that I have, I wanted to be, forget about everything I've done to this point. Forget about my last 2 fights. Everything I've done in my career, I've already men in black myself. I don't even know. You got to remind me of it. I don't know, and I don't care. It's what I got left in me. I want to separate myself from anybody that's ever competed in the sport and just be in my own bubble. Maybe not better, maybe not worse, but just in another planet doing my own thing, and that's my objective.
To my daughter watching and my son, I'm okay. Daddy's okay. Don't worry, I'll be home in no time. That's just a little mosquito bite. I'm fine now. I know I didn't win. Thank you everybody for coming out. Toda mi gente latina, gracias. And no matter what, whether I win or lose, this journey's been the most blessed for me from where I come from, to be headlining here. I just thank God, man. There's a lot of times I didn't have just to look around and see all I got now. It's a blessing, man. Thank you, God, for everything.